Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD1 here, back here at PlayStation Source, and I know that this isn't really a specific PlayStation game, you know what I'm saying, but it is going to be looking like one of the first big major third-party games coming to PS5, and that is, of course, the recently announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And let me tell you guys something. Look, I am extremely hyped for this game. Now, if some of you guys were not around the channel while I was playing through Odyssey, that is, of course, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and the year before that, Assassin's Creed Origins. Both of those games I thoroughly loved, but more specifically, I loved Odyssey. I loved Bayek as a character from Origins. I think he is one of my favorite assassins in the whole entire series, but honestly, I loved Odyssey's gameplay and just the world that they created in Odyssey. It was phenomenal. If you guys haven't played it, it is really, really cheap right now on PlayStation Store, I am presuming, and it is so entirely worth it. Seeing all this Assassin's Creed Valhalla stuff has made me pretty much double down on the prospect of me going back and doing the DLC from the game, and so I cannot wait to do that over the summer. But I loved Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and going into Valhalla, I'm seeing nothing but good things in my book. But one of the biggest things that are in contention about this game is that it is indeed one of the cross-play titles. We did talk about this a little bit on Save Slot, and now we have the prospect of potentially having Watch Dogs Legion as well as Assassin's Creed Valhalla come out on both gens. Those like games that go over cross generation for both consoles. So it looks like you'll be able to get it for a PS4 or for a PS5. I would likely, according to the title, I will likely be playing this as one of my first PS5 games, and I can't wait to have this expansive game, launching on the console, because I feel like with the PS4 I missed out on having a very, very big fleshed out world and really meaty game that I wish I had when I first got my PS4 on day one. But now that I'm hopefully getting PS5 day one, I'm definitely picking up Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the PlayStation 5. But there were some interesting details that I want to share with you all, and just some thoughts that I have about some of these details that have come out about this game, because I just wanted to talk about it, guys. I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm thoroughly excited. One of the biggest things that I found pretty interesting about this game is that this isn't really a surprise in terms of Ubisoft games, because usually this is kind of the case with a lot of them, especially if they're very big, like the Assassin's Creed series over the past few releases. There's, of course, Ubisoft Montreal, which will be the main developer behind this game, but there's also 14 other Ubisoft studios that helped with the creation of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So there's a lot of collaboration in this. Just throw in there as a cool little, just fact about the game, that there's a lot of development resources going into this game that I think is really, really cool. And I believe the same prospect and same type of thing was with Odyssey, I believe, because I know there were certain parts of that map and certain quests in given map locations that were not even touched by the main developer, and they were just outsourced by other people. So I think it's a similar form factor, but once again, very, very cool to see the collaboration within Ubisoft. When you think back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, one of the biggest features that really helped it make it a very, very unique game in a lot of different ways in terms of the Assassin's Creed series was being given the choice to be played as either a male or a female. And even though they are doing it a little bit differently in this game, it's still within the same ilk and still within the same reasoning. And so back on Odyssey, whether you're a male or a female, they had two different names, but over here in Valhalla, you will be able to choose the gender, but you will still take up the name of Ivor, I believe you want to say it, or Ivor, I'm not sure. And judging by the photo here you're seeing on screen, they have only shown the male version, which to just comment on that, he looks dope. He looks great. I love this wallpaper. This looks sick. And they have not shown the female yet, but I'm sure we will get a look at that in the future. But it did also detail that you'll be able to customize their hair, tattoos, war paint, and gear, as well as having the ability to influence political and combat decisions. And so they go on to say that dialogue choices will also make a comeback, choosing between protecting your clan's home and the future. And read a little bit more about what they said about growing your settlement. It say here on the website, grow and customize your own settlement by recruiting new clan members and building upgradable structures. Get better troops by constructing a barracks, improve weapons at the blacksmith, discover new customization options with the tattoo parlor, and much more. So that all sounds really, really cool. It definitely sounds like they are gonna definitely double down on the prospect of this being an RPG in a lot of different ways. I know they have been, shifting the whole series into really being more of an RPG focused game, which I actually love the change. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I personally think it's great, and it's gonna be cool to be able to go into this seemingly like social hub type of place where it is still a single player game. They did say that, but it's not like a social place where you can meet other people, but you can go and just collect yourself, upgrade your weapons and stuff like that, recruit more people to your clan, and be able to go out and do some of those raids, which they talk about here as well. They say here that lead your people in massive assaults against Saxon armies and fortresses and expand your influence far beyond your settlement's borders. Command a crew of raiders and launch lightning fast surprise attacks from your longship to claim your enemy's riches for your clan. So it kind of sounds like this is going to be like just what raids are, you know what I'm saying? Like a definite, long-term type of battle, but you do get a lot for your time investment in those raids. So that even sounds great. It's just everything that like this game is seemingly doing is just sounds like it's just blowing up Odyssey and making it so much more, and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait for this game. And so of course, from past Assassin's Creed, you always got this eagle to kind of assist you, and it was more direct in Odyssey in just a lot of different ways and stuff like that. But however, in this game they have that same system, but it is expanded, and it's not specifically an eagle. It is indeed a raven. So they say here, this is from an article from Eurogamer. They had an interview with some of the devs. They say here that, quote, "We have a bunch of new abilities for the raven. We used it as a reason to re-explore the way players can explore the world so it feels less reliant on UI. If you notice a distraction somewhere, it's probably because there's some content there. We want to make a world that rewards players for their curiosity. It links in with the Vikings being great explorers, so the world is meant to be meaningful." I need this as well, like having the doubling down on like having a raven. And of course, if you guys know a lot of mythology in terms of Norse mythology that this game is based upon heavily, you do know that Odin is definitely heavily connected and kind of sort of like resembled with a raven. So I'm sure we're gonna get some pretty cool stuff like that, where maybe like that's how they explain why the raven is doing these things and like helping us out, because maybe Odin is on our side and different things like that. So that's just what I thought off the top of my head. Could be way off on that point. Could be just, hey, they just wanted to use a raven because it makes more sense, but I digress. I think it's really, really cool that they're doubling down on not only the mythology, but also making sure the mythology is implemented into the game as a whole in terms of mechanics as well. And I think pretty much the last thing to go over here in this video is going to be the different editions that you'll be able to pre-order of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So right now it is up for pre-order on the PS4 store, on the PSN store. Why is it PS4 store? The PlayStation Network store, if you want to go and check out that. Those are up for pre-order, but you can of course get the standard edition, which is just gonna be the base edition. You can get the gold edition, which includes a season pass, as well as the ultimate edition, which includes a season pass and the ultimate pack. And so those will give you boosts depending on whatever those are. The season pass is going to be giving you access to new content, new lands, and new gear along the game's roadmap, as well as a bonus mission available at launch that is called The Way of the Berserker, which is an extra mission that has you, quote, join a legendary Norse berserker on his quest for revenge. Honestly, it kind of sounds like my boy Kratos, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure it's not, but it kind of does still like a similar way, you know what I'm saying? And of course, what's a game like this without the inevitable collector's edition, which of course is, pretty much has the goodies that you would expect to assume would be in a modern day collector's edition, which includes the steelbook case, a collector's case, you know what I'm saying? I think there's some art in there as well, some really cool lithograph prints, but the biggest thing is the statue that comes with this edition, which does depict the female version of our main protagonist, Ivor, or however I'm going to say that, I don't know. Someone will correct me down below, I'm sure. But Ivor, the female version is the main statue for the edition. So it looks like we got our first look right there. She's looking fierce. She's looking dope. Big fan. And yes, I noticed that the last thing I'll bring up is the prospect of those editions, but there's also one more thing I want to bring up that's really, really important here. It's that, of course, next week, if you guys haven't heard already on Twitter, and I know this is a PlayStation channel, but I'm going to just mention this just real briefly because there's a point to this. Xbox will be having an event that will feature a lot of third-party games for the Xbox Series X, and ultimately, of course, if it's third-party, that means that a lot of them will, of course, funnel to the PlayStation 5, so it is something to look forward to if you're on the PlayStation side of things. But the biggest thing in particular in this video is that Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature their debut gameplay trailer at that event next week, so definitely keep it locked for my reactions on that, because I cannot wait to see some gameplay from this game. game. The trailer looks insane. It's all CG to be fair, but it looks insane. And you guys have probably already been seeing some screenshots that I've been putting out across this video about how the game looks from an in-game engine perspective, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to see this game running in real time, running on that gameplay. I cannot wait for it, guys. I'm super hyped for this game, and you know, just tying it back to PS5 just one more time, because I'm definitely gonna be playing this on PlayStation 5 if I can get my hands on a PS5, you know, day one, hopefully, because I want to see how this game really takes advantage of the SSD capabilities of the PlayStation 5 in terms of having this big, massive world, and how much smoother it could potentially run on the hardware, being able to load different assets and load different maps at a higher rate and at a faster rate. So it looks like there's going to be, you know, a lot of really, really good things on this game, and it seems like this game was made perfectly to be ran on PS5 in terms of the SSD, and just how quick those loading times are on the SSD. So guys, I can wait for this. Hope you all enjoyed the video. I know it was a lot here, but I just wanted to gush about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I absolutely cannot wait for this game. If you guys want to check out my coverage on this game, make sure to leave a like on the video, as well as hit subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Down below, of course, in our description, you can find our links to our Twitter, our Discord, as well as an anchor link to listen to long-form content in podcast format. That, of course, being Road to Part 2, as well as Save Slot Podcast. Once again, if you enjoyed, like the video, say subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.